Hey there and howdy partners. Welcome to Retro Repair Roundup, episode number 25 for January 8th, 2023, the first one of January. Our schedule's a little offset this first month. We're second and fourth of this month, but because of holidays and weird arrangements and all of that other stuff, we're a little bit delayed. But beginning of February, we will be back on first and third. How's everybody doing? Remember to if you're watching the stream for the first time to hit subscribe that like or the subscribe button. I don't know what I'm doing.
Subscribe that like.
I play a smart person on the internet. That doesn't mean I'm actually smart.
Bell that ring, like, Joe.
What?
Bell that ring.
Yeah.
Look for things that make your ship go.
Yes. We look for things that make us go. Hands container of Metamucil over. So, your hosts tonight are me, Joe Stroh-Snyder, of jcm-1.com and Joe's Computer Museum on YouTube sometimes. We have Javier Rivera. Freaking Christmas. Javier Rivera of Javier's retro computing thing that he does. Ron of Ron's computer.
I'm pretty sure that's the exact name.
Movies.
Javier's retro computer adventures in
that's my name. I just changed it to Rivera to be short.
And of course we have our super awesome guest for tonight, Trina of Trina's Techno Babble, our friend from up north in Canada. How you doing tonight, Trina?
I'm doing pretty good, eh?
Yeah, there you go.
Slide that in there.
Yes. Yeah. So, I don't know what we're doing tonight. We're hanging out and talking about nerdy computer stuff. I asked Trina, hey, here's the show notes. Go ahead and put stuff in there you want to talk about. And she's like, nope, I'm good. Great.
Nice.
So, well, I saw like questions for guests, so I'm like, well, we'll just play off that.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
First of all, I want to hear how everybody's holiday went. Because we're just coming off the holiday break. I want to hear about cool new toys you guys got. I want to hear about exciting places you went. All that.
Trina, go.
Oh,
you're the guest.
Yeah, starting with our guest.
Okay, so I went nowhere.
Yeah.
Got a few. The most interesting new toy I got was this Apple mouse pad that Eric of Eric's Edge kindly bought for me.
That's nice.
Because they wouldn't ship to Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Shake my fist. Like, it's a mouse pad. It's not going to get stopped at the border.
I don't know. It depends on what you write on that customs form. They might be opening up or trying to poke some holes in there so it can breathe.
Yeah, and then I did a stream for 4 hours on New Year's Eve to fill the gap that Steve was out getting drunk on salad. But mostly I just spent the time relaxing and doing some work around and
cool.
Yeah.
Cool beans.
That's great.
What about you, Ron?
Oh, this was really kind of a nice holiday because we didn't go really much of anywhere. Normally, we end up running for like starting basically the day because I work in higher education, so it's like the first day that we have our break. We might have a little bit of time to kind of get prepped and all that, but it just seems like you are driving, you're going somewhere, somebody's having a party, some family thing or whatever. So, but this year was kind of nice because everybody stayed home, partially in thanks to the polar vortex, and partially just to the fact that everybody's just exhausted. So, we were able to just spend a little bit of time at home, which was nice. The kind of the neat thing for me is that I have a lot of things shipped to my courier service rather than me actually getting them at my house. So when I went back to work after the break, it was like there was 1,000 tiny packages there of different things, and a lot of it is just stuff that I had forgotten. Because I was like, man, I got to order another one of those, or I got to order one of those. But it was like, and I was like, but I probably ought to wait until after the break, because sure enough, there was one in the pile of stuff. So, but that was kind of nice, and I don't know. It was very relaxing and it was kind of nice. And normally we also have something that kind of screws the break up for us, where it'll be like somebody gets sick or something happens and we've got to deal with that for a day or two. But it was really weird because like I think 2 or 3 years ago I hurt my arm, and so the whole break, if I wasn't up moving and doing something, I was just in pain. So I had pinched a nerve or something. You couldn't really get into the doctor, do anything about it. When I finally did, they were like, "Oh, you probably pinched a nerve. Just kind of put some warm or put cold or something on it, and. But then, like 1 year, I had like the flu, and then like another year, I've got great teeth, except for this one tooth that betrayed me. That I like cracked a tooth or something on the break. So I'm like the whole break, I'm just in pain. But this year was great. It was just. We waited until after the break, and then everybody got sick.
Good timing.
Yep.
What about you, Javier? I heard that you had a wee bout.
A little.
Mm-hmm.
Damn it! I never take vacation or those breaks, and I finally say no. I'm gonna take a week vacation before the holidays and all that. So the Friday. The Friday, the last day of my work, I begin to feel sick, and of course, you get sick. I got like a week completely sick with stomach flu. I thought I was having, COVID, all the things. You know how it goes through your head.
Mm-hmm.
And oh my God, it was painful. I was all dizzy all the time, so it was horrible. But hey, that was my great, vacation or whatever.
Vacation.
I couldn't eat.
Well, here's what the thing is: you can go back to the boss and say, because I was sick on my vacation, I'd like to exchange those as sick days and then take my vacation again.
Right, and then we'll say raw.
Denied.
So that was the fun part.
Man, I'm sorry. Yeah, I would love to say that I had Ron's experience this holiday season, but I did not. So usually I spend my holiday at home because my spouse goes out to visit their mom on the holiday. So I was alone home, and that's boring, and you're like, all your routines are messed up, and you don't sleep right, and because your whole like half of your world is gone, right? Mm-hmm. And so, but it's usually pretty chill, whatever.
I still went over there every day and took Joe out and walked him and gave him fresh water and just rub his belly, told him he was a good boy, and took him to Joey daycare one day and.
But I can't talk to too many details. But what stank was like literally that first day. We had how can I put it? We had a major work problem. That's literally all I can say about it. And despite years of work and therapy and medication to make my anxiety go away, it all came back. It came back. Great Christmas. It was super awesome.
You see, Joe, this one, it goes to 11. Most they go to 10. This one here, it goes to 11. It's a little extra.
It went to 11. Yes.
Oh, dear.
But other than that, it was just fine. Everybody, let's listen to Joe's problems.
That's okay. That's what friends are supposed to do, Joe.
Yeah, every time I want to get depressed, I just call Joe and, what's your problem?
Tell me about this work emergency, Joe. Oh.
See, I don't need to call Joe. I have enough on my own plate that I can get depressed about. So,
yeah.
Oh boy.
So, Trina, what you been working on lately? What's going on in your world? What's the cool, fun thing that you've been doing that's, how can we say, different or interesting lately?
oh dear. Well, I've been working on this custom build forever, it feels like. Because the first cooler was too big. The second one didn't have the right back bracket. So the client went out and bought two different CPU coolers. Not power supplies, as I called them today on Dave's stream. I don't know what happened there.
They're made of metal. You can just put it on there. It has a fan inside. I'm sure it's better than nothing.
It'll do the job.
So I went and tried to put the fans in it today, but there's actually no screw holes to put the fans in because this is a proprietary case that requires. Hold on, I have one right here. These plastic brackets to put your fan in, but it's this little bit here that won't bend back enough to snap it into place.
Trina, just scan and 3D print.
So easy.
Yeah, just it's 15 to 16 hours of modeling and then printing and then a test fit and it's wrong and then you do it again and I mean these are here's the thing. I think you're going about this the wrong way. It's I get
Yeah.
paid by the hour, not by the job. So you just
Well, I can't. Yeah. Anyway, so
there,
we're
you
looking at
son of
getting
a-
a new. We're looking at getting a newer case.
good.
The client has agreed to that
Good.
because he said, "Yeah, just pull the plug on this one."
Yeah. I was going to say, if nothing else, if you're doing all that other work, breathe some fresh life in. I mean, cases aren't crazy expensive, so.
No, but
Mhm.
we have the issue where he needs an optical drive. So
Oh, jeez.
that's going to be fun to try to find a case.
Mm-hmm.
Solution to that problem: Dremel.
Well, the solution to
Dremel and glue.
solution to this is going to be Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
So just go through the used places, Kijiji, Craigslist, things like that. So
Yeah.
we're gonna do
Kijiji.
that.
Yeah, Kijiji is good.
I've never heard of Kijiji.
It's a Canadian thing. It's
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
it honestly sounds
is
like
it-
what you
is
would
it
call
only-
your genitals in, like, polite company. It's like, oh, man, the other day I was getting out of the car, slid across the seat, got my Kijiji caught under my leg. Oh! Never again.
We're never going to be monetized at this rate.
Yeah. No, never. And then in the meantime, I've also bought. I bought 6 desktop towers that I've been working through. One of them was totally dead. So yay! Took the motherboard out and everything. Not surprising with the amount of dust that was in the case. But it's weird because the motherboard lights up when you plug the power in, but it doesn't do anything past that. So I called it a dud. And I've been puttering with those 63 laptops
Mm-hmm.
that
Yeah.
damn.
63.
I bought
mean-
63 laptops because, I don't have enough stuff in my room.
Yeah, because yeah, have nothing else to do, huh?
I mean, worst case scenario, you can, like, set up some temporary shelter outside. You just, like, take the
Make a fort.
laptops, stack them up, make a snow fort.
Yeah. And then I've also been in contact with, I'm trying to think of, Everything is Broken Garage.
hmm
And I'm going to be getting one of his ancient desktops off him when I move
Oh,
because I'll have space for it.
It's on my face. There's no
And
Just go away.
yeah, going to put
Keep
DOS on it and have a DOS box again.
DOS box. Woo!
An
Mhm.
actual, and not just running DOS box, but actually DOS.
A real hardware.
Real,
Yes.
yeah, on real hardware, exactly. Because he has one that has both floppy drives, and I'm like, I remember our first family computer telling Mom we had to buy a computer with both floppy drives because floppies were the way of the future.
Mm-hmm.
they are.
But to
But
be fair,
they
this was
were back
1972, so
Yeah,
I mean,
5 years before I was born, but yeah. Don't know how I was talking, but hey, I was doing good.
listen, it's at that point, it was a really long pregnancy, and when you get that when you get that tapping on the belly, moms know. Moms just
Yeah.
know.
SOS. Get both floppy drives.
Let me out. So you were talking about doing all these computers and getting these 63 computers and working for a client. Why don't you tell people a little bit about your business for anybody who might not actually know of you and about you?
Okay, so I run my own business on the side, which keeps me busy now because I'm also working full time. So there's some days where, like Wednesday, I didn't stop until 8 o'clock at night and started at like 8:30 working technically, but left here at like 10 to 8 to get to work on time.
I know the feeling.
Yeah.
I know that is.
But yeah,
Mhm.
so I run my own computer business called Computers with Pride. And I've
What's
done
the
that
website?
for-
Do you have a website so
I
people
do.
can find you?
It's computerswithpride.ca. because we're Canadian, eh? So when I register the domain, yeah, that's it right there.
Cool beans. Awesome
And I
sauce.
try to keep it as up to date. I got a few things I got to remove because I sold them on eBay over the weekend, but I just haven't. I don't know
Good.
where the weekend's gone,
They slide away so quick.
right?
Retro Techie,
Retro techie.
who's like 2 blocks away from you. Anyway, moving on.
2 blocks. Yeah, because Montreal's just up the road here.
I don't know where he. It's Canada. British Columbia is right next to Ottawa, isn't it?
It's just like saying Joe, Javier, and Ron all live within the same block.
We do,
Yeah,
though.
We do.
Yeah, okay.
Hello.
We do.
It's, it's
Okay.
it's only like a 16-hour walk to Joe's house. You just pop on over there.
If it's a 16-hour walk, you're walking pretty gosh darn fast.
Well, it's 30 miles an hour. It's probably,
I don't want to do the math of how
like really,
How
you
long
got to
it
get your
will
arms
take
into
you
it,
to
Joe,
walk
is
to-
the thing.
to Joe's house.
Anyway,
Yeah.
moving on. That's
So,
cool.
yeah.
So you're into retro computer stuff too, of course.
Yes, I am.
Because if you weren't, why would you be on the stream? Tell us
Right.
about your retro computing history, hobbies, what you like to do, and all that stuff.
Well, I'll start with. I guess I'll start with my computer history itself. It started with a Commodore 64 in grade 7 because the schools were all decommissioning Commodore 64s to go to Apples. But our school was on the lower side financially, so we had one of our instructors went and got all the Commodore 64s that everybody was throwing out and made a lab out of those. And my sister had a VIC 20, but I don't remember ever using her VIC 20. I don't think she ever used it or anything. And then we got the following year at home, we got the computer with both floppy drives because we needed those. And then a year later, this small floppy failed, and that's when I did my first ever computer repair at 13 I think 13 or 14, where I replaced the floppy drive.
Cool.
Because I was always puttering with things, taking things apart and stuff like that. So, and yeah, then it just kind of grew into a hobby of, oh, I can do this, and this, and this, and yeah, it just kept on going.
Awesome sauce.
So yeah, and then I went to go. I joined a computer group in Halifax when computer clubs still existed back in the day, and there was a.
This is our computer club now.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say they just changed venues.
Now it's online, but this is when they were in person, and there was a person there who was going to do a DOS demo because he still used DOS for his business and daily use. And so I went to go help him pack up, and I actually ended up landing a part-time job doing stage lighting because that's his main business. And then also being his IT girl for all the DOS computers and finding motherboards and cases and things for him. So
You didn't say
really
a third
got-
thing.
that
We should-
really got me into DOS was
Mhm.
working for him, and learning all the ins and outs of DR DOS 7.03 because 1999 today is still modern DOS. He still calls it modern DOS, and I'm like, is it really though at 1999? Like, when is that cutoff point? But yeah, and I still have an image on my PC of all his desktops. So when I get that computer from Everything is Broken Garage, I'll just simply move everything over. Yeah.
Cool.
Because he
Cool.
created his own batch files. He has like over 1,000 batch files that he's created. So just really simple things like instead of typing in WordPerfect, you just type in WP and it automatically goes to the directory, opens up the exec file and all that good stuff. So,
He's
but
got a great one to figure out how much memory it has in the computer. What it does is you type the word memory and it runs mem.exe. Such a time saver.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to kind of getting back into some retro stuff. As I mentioned, I was looking thanks to America
Batman. Okay. Anyway, moving on.
Batman. Yeah. So as I mentioned, I'm trying to get back into more retro computing. I don't have the room right now, but hopefully down the road I'll be getting a computer from Everything is Broken Garage, who I don't see in the chat. We'll have to get after him for not being here. He might not know. And then so that's gonna be my DOS machine. And then today, thanks to Steve, who put the bug in my ear and in my eyes by his video of the LC, I'm like, ooh, those look like fun machines to tinker around with. So
It's dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta start getting into talks with Garth about getting an LC from him. So
You heard her, Garth. Start shipping, buddy.
Ship it.
Go find those. He has like 6 of them. So
Cool.
he said, yeah. So I said, hey, I'm totally down to buy one from you because he's bought laptops from me. So or a laptop, I guess. But.
Cool beans. So, what's been going on in your world, Ron, recently? What you been working on, buddy?
Oh my gosh. I have lots of fun things to share. Give me just 1 second. Let me get the... Hold on. I've been loading the slide projector for like the last 30, 40 minutes. So.
Oh, I just got a quick story. So really interesting. I've been mostly PCs up to when I opened up my own business. And then I started getting Macs in. And I remember the first thing I did when I got a Mac in was try to figure out how to get into the BIOS.
Mm-hmm.
Like I powered it on, I'm smashing the escape key, and I'm like, well, that didn't work. Turn it off, F1. And I'm like, well, what is the... So then I Google it, and Google comes back and goes, haha, what are you trying to do?
Mm-hmm.
Basically.
So I went on, there was a great group on Reddit called Apple Help. And I haven't been on it for a bit, but because I haven't really needed it. But when I was first starting out, I would post in questions like, how do I boot from CD and things like that? Because totally different environment, obviously.
Oh, yeah. It's very different. Hi, gang.
Oh, interesting.
And that is true. Because it was before they decided that they were going to just make everything UEFI, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, hi, gang. It's Ron with Ron's Computer Videos. Hey, I've been working on a couple of things for a while now. I'm sure everybody is well familiar with my feelings about batteries and my little first generation battery replacement doodad. Well, I've actually redesigned it and added a diode in the circuit. So that way, basically, if you have a system that you want to use this with that actually attempts to charge the CMOS battery, that will not occur on... Here, let me clean this up. There you go.
So basically what you're saying is your solution is more universal. It could be used in just about anything.
Yeah, you could use it in... Now, this new version, you could use it in PCs, Amigas, Macs, whatever you'd like to use it with. And again, it just has 2 little leads over here. You can just get those out, like however long, get your stranded, fancy, colorful cable and run leads to wherever you need it to go. Or you can use... I have made a little sabot that I've shown this before, where basically this is just a half AA that you can just run the wires to, and then you just kind of bring them around the end, solder, and here you have a nice little thing that you can put out at the far end. You don't have to modify your socket or anything like that. I know there's a lot of stuff on the market right now, but I just thought that yours doesn't fit in a Varda footprint, does it? It does if you use the sabot. So basically, you just send it out there, and there you go. But so the new version versus the old one does not have a diode on it. So this is very much sort of Mac kind of centric. Well, the new one will work on much more things. So, but
Cool.
talking with Adam from Adam's Apples, he was like, the Mac 2, it uses 2 Vardas out there, and I was like, yeah, well, maybe so. This doesn't necessarily address everything because I know that the Mac 2 does have a little capacitor that sits in the circuit to kind of give it a little oomph. But if you did have another machine that needed 2 batteries, I've made the remote battery too. So it's just another version of that has just 2 batteries. Basically duplicates the design, and PCB costs are a little bit less and all that type of stuff too. But I think you can put together the version 1. I'm just going to release all the files so people can do whatever they want with it, kind of make remixes or whatever they'd like. The version 1, I think total parts is it's under $1.25, depending on where you get all your switches and components and stuff. I normally just get everything. As you can see, I'm using Easy EDA, so that's all JCL PCB kind of related. So when I put the BOM and everything out there, it'll have part numbers for them. So it's just very convenient because you can just spin up the boards and include all the components and stuff like that.
Cool.
So yeah, just been having fun doing this. Kind of another big thing that I was working on recently is I now have a V3 of my universal TTL video adapter. This is probably going to be just the last revision. This fixes some issues with stuff that's on the silk screen, and basically increases the size of these pads out here and increases the hole. So if you did decide that you wanted to clip an original or the Molex cable, and you can just solder it, you could put it in line if you wanted to. It's just trying to address some different use cases, but this is the perfect thing. You can stick an IC in between your analog board or your if you're building a Cat Mac that doesn't actually use the analog board or anything like that, like in a Mac Plus or something. You can put this in there so that way that then you can just tap directly off of this for your RGB to HDMI or whatever, and just puts some added protection between your now kind of tough to get Raspberry Pi and your Mac Plus motherboard. So, or somebody like Dave that just is going to tap directly into the analog board. You can it gives you a little bit of protection there. So, the last thing that I wanted to talk about is I actually have some things over on fangs.com, and these are nice high resolution scans of the wrist rests for the Apple adjustable keyboard, which are really, really tough to get. Can't really find those too much anywhere. And you can take these, you can download them. Somebody like Javier or Joe that has really nice filament and stuff that is in the proper Apple colors, you could have them. Maybe talk to those guys. Maybe even have some printed up. I don't know what the cost would be, but that's something you can do. But they are nice high resolution scans. You can see the manufacturing stuff. There's a couple little bits of occlusion here where things went crazy on the scan, but it's underneath. You'll never see it. Just print it. Don't worry about it. But anyway, this took a long time because I had to reach out to somebody in the community that actually had a set of these, get them, scan them, get them back to them. There was a little bit of cleanup that needed to be done on the final models, so I had to send that off and get that done, and then now they're ready. So basically, anybody that's interested, if you have an Apple adjustable keyboard but you're missing the wrist rests, here's your opportunity to print them. I went ahead just as a test. I put them out there on PCBWay because I know that they do a lot of printing and things like that. Just in white, I think you can get a whole set printed for less than $50. So if you try to buy a set of originals, it's way more than $50, but it's kind of nice to just have options these days. That's it.
Cool.
And
Awesome.
how fragile is the plastic on those original ones too?
They're I don't know. They're not terrible because it's kind of printed out of ABS. It's kind of the keyboardy kind of plastic on the later. I would say that it's the same type of plastic that the Apple design keyboard is made out of, and those are those are in pretty good shape and don't really gray or anything like that. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
but
Now all I need is the keyboard.
yeah. We'll work on 3D printing that next, Joe.
I was gonna say, just print yourself one of those.
Yeah. That's the next big project.
Cool beans. Javier, what have you been doing, buddy?
Well, other than being sick, I had some time to do actually some 3D stuff too for several people, and I'm gonna be releasing some stuff for my patrons soon. And one of those things I think, Ron, I did something for you, isn't it? The Jasmine drive.
Yes.
I just remember that. So
Javier 3D printed, or I'm sorry, it didn't 3D print, but 3D modeled the Jasmine. Jasmine made like a 3.5-inch drive that was like the perfect accessory for a SCSI disc enclosure for like an Apple II, like a 2GS, something like that. I mean, because the styling is very much like the original Apple 3.5-inch floppy drive, so it's way cool.
Now I'm thinking that I should put it like in PCB way. They print 3D then?
Well, that's what I went out to PCB Way. Here, actually, hold on one second. Let me, because
there's a place called Shapeways. I knew that.
Yeah,
one.
Shapeways.
Shapeways kind of expensive though.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
They're all slightly expensive. Give me 1 second. Let me go ahead and I'm gonna share the screen again.
Time's up.
Okay. Okay. So let's see.
PCB Way.
PCB Way. Okay. So the as you can see, like the three, well, maybe you can see.
14 or
14, 13, and 15 for the boop.
But it's not a bad cost if you know.
So under $50 if that's your thing. And
Ron is intense at 2x anyway.
And then here's the Jasmine drive, which it's $25 to print the bottom and $16 to print the top.
Oy.
So it's pricey, but I mean,
what kind of material, what kind of quality? That's right. Another thing.
Yeah, it's just the standard white material for stuff that they print. Yeah. So it's not.
And then you spend $16 on that and paint it with that.
Yeah. No.
So it's pricey. I mean, $40 plus shipping.
My thing is, I wish I could find a material. Well, not a material, but some way to soften the 3D printed ones. And I heard that if you do ABS instead of that, you can soften it. But I haven't. First of all, there's no color match with ABS as far as I know.
Right.
And the second one is the fumes, I think, are not very good. So that's my only concern. But yeah, maybe in the future we should try to test that.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about ABS, here's what the thing I heard, and this was years before I even ever got a 3D printer, is if you take a really high quality or like thin slice, like 0.12 or something, a super thin slice ABS, and put it in any like a plastic or metal enclosure with a small cup of acetone off to the side, the acetone will off gas and will kind of the bumps together and soften it. But it only works on things where there's not super fine detail, because you end up losing the detail. So
I tried that with PLA, and it just softened it up like after 3 days, because a few hours didn't work, a day didn't work, and then 3 days did work. It begins to soften, but it would begin to melt it, and then it was like gummy,
it's spongy. Yeah.
So no good. So
the spirit is willing, but the flesh is spongy and bruised. Anyway, moving on.
Also I've been working on conversion that I wanted to do a video this weekend, but I didn't have the time at the end. But it's one of these Mac. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Mac.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Mac for
Mock.
M-O-C-K.
Like MOCK.
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 There you go.
Yeah, Mach 4 joystick CH.
Mhm. Yeah.
And this is weird, and they have a switch in the back. This is not for Apple II, but the Apple II has a switch in the back for mouse or joystick, and somebody bought one for PC to convert to Apple II.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna try to do that saves the switch, so it can be used as a mouse or a
Mm-hmm.
joystick. So that's what I was gonna be trying to do on the camera, but hopefully next week.
Mm-hmm.
And and that's it. I've been working on those things these days.
Well, you
Dave wants you to send.
you better do a live stream because Retro Techie was crying, texting me crying, going, "Oh my god!"
I was preparing it, and I didn't knew that I put it up. So I was like, no, I'm not gonna say send. Oh, I think I did say send because he was waiting for me, and I was like, oh my god. I have like 4 viewers, and now I'm losing them already. So, damn.
Dave says send him a joystick.
Yep.
Javier, did you see?
Well,
we
I
talked
wasn't-
about this a while back. The version of that Mach 4 that actually has like a keypad. In the base.
They
Isn't
know
that so
the price.
weird?
I may just buy it because that keypad is weird.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe the joystick is worth it. I may buy it. Right
I mean,
away.
because you could always make a new case top, and convert those or something. I don't know.
That's not a bad idea. Yep.
I like.
Rudy, hi Rudy. Sad you can't be here. You're welcome anytime you have time, buddy.
Yeah, we miss you, Rudy.
We miss you.
So is that your nickname, by the way? It's Javier Joystick now.
Almost. I should do Joy Beer or something like that.
I thought it was have your cake and eat it stew.
Because have stick doesn't sound very well.
They get you in trouble with the missus.
Yeah. Oh god, yeah. We miss you too.
Who was it? I think Retro Techie asked earlier, Javier, don't you have like an Apple II that's actually like a watch size thing that you're working on?
Yeah. Hold on to your horses.
This is cool. If you guys haven't seen this is
Oh, he showed this. Yeah, I remember this. It's so cool.
How can I turn it on? Oy vey. Oh, I think it's not. Well, you guys keep on talking because I don't know why it's not turning on.
Dick Tracy.
hello, my
come in,
baby.
Dick
Hello,
Tracy.
my darling.
Oh, I see. Eric said that he found a Gravis joystick on eBay for $13. So he says, "Thanks for your help, Javier."
Nice.
Thank
Is
you.
it
No,
that
you're
bad?
welcome. Yeah, I don't know why it's not turning on.
Camp Anawanda. We hold you in our heart.
I'll show it to you in a minute. Don't worry.
It
fell apart.
has performance anxiety. It's like, wait, no, I can't do this on live stream.
It needs a blue pill.
Oh no.
No, the battery is dead, I think.
Oh no.
It's okay. It's still way cool. And
It is.
if you have not made a short about it, you should.
I think I did.
I think you did too, which
Yeah.
is why I said that.
Put one of Ron's battery holders on it. There you go.
There you
Yeah.
go. You
Yeah.
need it only needs 19 volts, so we'll just go ahead and just
I should do
put
that.
a bunch of them in parallel.
Oh, that's great.
How about you,
Wait,
Joe?
hold on. What? Some what? Like portrait of Chuck Norris on Javier's wall. That's not Chuck Norris.
Oh my gosh.
That's frickin' Woz.
Yeah.
Chuck Norris.
How do you dare?
Chuck Norris.
That's a god.
That is Stephen Wozniak, inventor of the Apple II computer.
But
And the Disc 2
Chuck
drive.
Norris.
but
Oh my
to be
gosh.
fair,
It
that
moved.
does
Okay,
look
there
like
it is.
kind of the the 1980s Chuck Norris from a distance.
Chuck Norris is blonde, and he
And it
doesn't
has
have a
the Woz
beard.
signature.
He did though in the early 80s.
Woz is the Chuck. There you go.
That's
exactly.
true.
Woz is the Chuck Norris of computing. Yes,
There you
sir.
go.
It is.
Perfect.
Yeah, it is.
There are only two answers.
Yeah, I remember
Woz
that time
and
that,
dead.
that Wozniak got beat up by Bruce Lee.
Forgive them, Lord. They don't know.
There you go. Charles Bronson.
Lord Almighty. Yeah.
Yes, Charles Bronson for sure.
MacFX is here. Hi, MacFX. How are you, buddy?
I remember Chuck
We'll be talking about you in a minute.
Charles Bronson's short stint on the Andy Griffith Show. That's an
What do you
esoteric
say?
Simpsons joke.
Okay. Sure. Cool. What else you working on, Javier?
That's so far. That's it. I got a couple of secret projects that I'm working for Kansas Fest, and that's another one that I've been playing with. Oh boy, it's not turning on. I'm worried now. I gotta see it. I had it in a box, so I'll check it in a minute.
Okay.
Was Texas Ranger. Love it.
Well,
Hey, Kate.
Oh,
How about you,
Jesus,
Joe?
what's with you? Moving on. Hi, everybody. I'm Joe, and I'm weird. Lots of little things going on in the Joe world, none of which involve me making videos on YouTube yet. So if anybody's waiting for me, keep waiting. So no, the Y cable adapter is finally live on my website. It went live last week. That is the cable. That is the adapter that allows you to have the actual Y cable output for your Apple IIe card for your LCs and SE30s and stuff. Again, the story there. Most of those were used in schools. Most of the cards that are out there in the wild are pulls from computers, or they just came with the computer. But what did you not get? The cable. So I have created the Y cable, stylized WHY CABLE ? And those have been a big hit. They're pretty much sold out. So I need to run another spin of those. So those are going to be those are really cool to help people out. The main thing I've been doing lately is I've been doing a lot of work on my Amiga 4000. I got an A4000 a while ago, and the past few weeks I've been doing stuff with it to try to get it to boot properly, then to get it to copy the data off to a compact flash drive, and all of this stuff, because I'm trying to prepare that Amiga for Macintosh. Why? Why would Joe want an Amiga for Macintosh? Well, you're going to have to wait till March to find out. But a lot of stuff going on. When will the W?
Because as you said, you're weird,
Yeah,
What?
exactly.
right?
What?
Why do you want to Amiga for Macintosh? Because you're weird.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah. So cool
That's an
stuff
understatement.
going on there. Speaking of Rudy, if you didn't know, Rudy made a cool little device called the Tiny Comp, which is available on my website as well. Not that I'm trying to sell stuff. I'm just trying to call out Rudy because Rudy's awesome. A cool little device that allows you to basically anything that's got RF output allows you to convert that RF output to composite, so you can use it with modern monitors without a tuner, and actually, have video that's usable and good. So that's cool. But the other big thing that I've been doing lately is I've been doing a lot of work back there that you can't see with my video capture setup, so that I can, when I'm displaying stuff or doing videos about these old computers, instead of having a camera shot at a screen, you can actually see the video. It'll help me in actual video production too, because we can get good captures and all of that stuff from real hardware. And lots of troubles back and forth with different video types. The Amiga was particularly persnickety getting video out of. Also, PCs, when they're in text mode, is like 72 hertz, 720p wackiness or some thing. I don't know. So I had to do all this stuff to get that working. Big shout out to Garth Beagle, who had some information locked back in his brain about a specific video converter that worked really well. That video converter is the StarTech USB 3 HDCAP, which I will pop in the chat here real quick. Super duper awesome device that it's able to capture everything. I can throw anything at it. It's like, all right, we're doing it, and it works really well. So
Nice.
that was a big thing. I also have an Extron HD or RGB-H300, whatever it is, an extra in between that helped. Ron sent me a VGA splitter recently that helped in that whole process. So lots of cool, super awesomeness there. And good to see Mac Effects in the chat, because I can't show that too closely, but got another Mac Effects project in the work that I'm helping him out with. So that's cool. The most recent project that we did is going to be it's delayed because poor China and their policy being bad one direction, and they flip it and it being bad the other direction, because come to find out, humans are idiots and viruses don't freaking care about any of that. So that's all just, it's just supply chain delayed. But that's gonna that project being the Micromac Thunder accelerator for the LC series and the SE 30-ish, whatever it is. So that's cool. And then finally, my final little tease. I can't say much. All I'm going to say is this: Blue Scuzzy news this month. Pay attention, because it's going to be freaking awesome. And that's literally all I can tell you about that. So that's what's going on in Joe's crazy world. I will mention one other thing, two other real quick things that just popped in my head. Hopefully this month I'll be able to get an actual video out, which I've been teasing since April of 2022, of the process. It's a video about brain just stopped mid-sentence. I hate it when it does that. About how to clone / reverse engineer 2-layer PCBs for the purposes of preservation. Because there's a lot of stuff out there that are really cool. People want them, but they can't get them because they're, I wouldn't say necessarily rare, but hard to obtain. And it would be really cool if more people out there in our hobby knew how to do that process, so we can get more hands on more keyboards, on more mice, and more EDA and more CAD software, getting cool, just, I don't want to say clones exactly, but reproductions of things out there, so that more people can come in and enjoy the hobby without having to be sit on eBay and wait for speculators to drive up prices. And we're like, fine, I can go out to freaking JLC PCB or PCBWay or Dirty PCBs or anybody I want and print one. So that's the whole, democratizing some of the designs.
Great idea.
So that's that video is going to be coming up. And I hope to have some really, 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 really big news sometime this year about that door back there. So that door, we'll see.
Because we've heard some previews about what's behind the door.
Yes, that's door number 1. What's behind that door right now is all of my mother-in-law's belongings. And she's super awesome. We let her keep a lot of that stuff here because she's freaking awesome, and we're not going to let her pay money to have it stored somewhere. That's stupid.
Yeah, that's
the trick.
So
is we have to find someplace else to put that, because I want to. Through that door right now, on the other side of that door is a panel with shelves. It's a 6-inch deep shelf is all it is. But on the other side of the panel is a room that is twice the size of this space.
Wow.
That in theory I could expand into and make that the actual museum with my shelves and stuff properly all laid out, so that, and plugged in and ready to go. So if I need to or want to use something, I just go use it.
Is it like
and
the TARDIS?
Be a proper lab for expanding. I can have a proper 3D print space and a proper shipping location that's not my washer and dryer.
But you're gonna,
Still, I love it's the cleanest shipping department in Ohio.
Dude. So
and
the other side of the door is where Ron is right now. Yeah, Ron, go knock on the door real quick. No. What? So yeah, that's
wow.
What's behind the door is a new car. I wish.
You guys are really close in the States.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. Just everybody.
The US is very small.
Yeah.
Very small.
Yes. It's not like we have 50 completely separate countries with different sets of rules, laws, and customs that sort of kind of are forced to get along. It's not like that at all. It's not like you can go from one part of the country to the other part of the country and have a completely different set of rights, rules, and laws.
Yeah. It's funny, especially for people on borders. It's like there's sort of, sometimes they try to like say, you can kind of do it here. We understand, but but then again, there's people that, take advantage of that. It's just bad for everybody.
You guys get along, Retro Techie? No, we don't. No. Yeah, we're a whole bunch of redheaded cousins.
I hate Joe.
Oh, and you can't change your shipping station, by the way, because Retro Techie has this whole fetish.
You know what? I have this cool. I have this cool deck here that I can just like press buttons and change things to be like I can go to bench view and all that stuff. I'm just gonna create a button that just says shipping. It's just gonna be a static image of that. It's just gonna be static, right? And well, if the camera will ever freaking engage. So whenever it's like, show us the shipping station, I'll be like, all right, and I press the button. He's like, yay! And I'm like, ha! Wait, he's in the chat. He knows now. Crap.
Yeah, darn.
But yeah,
It's Canada and Toronto.
It's Canada and Toronto who never get along. I thought it was the entirety of Canada and then Quebec that didn't get along. But
Exactly. Yes,
Like-
I was gonna say, it's not anything to do with Toronto not getting along. It's Quebec.
it's like to anybody who doesn't know about Canadian politics, this is the funniest thing weird aside, this is the funniest thing I think about Canadian politics. Every Canadian province calls itself a province.
Yeah.
And all the Canadian provinces, including the Canadian government, call Quebec a province. Quebec calls itself a nation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, and we also have the territories as well.
Yeah. Oh, the territories. That's right.
Yeah.
So yeah, we are a nation. Yeah. No.
Don't start.
No. Until you have a referendum and both your province and your country accept it, you're not a nation. You're just a bunch of stuck-up people. Anyway, moving on. Speaking of that, Texas, get on that. So I'm kidding. Texas is fine. Yeah. Anyway, that's what's going on in my world. That's it. Now we're on to the section of recent gets. The cool, fun toy or toys or whatever that you got recently that are super awesome and you guys want to show off. And again, we get to start with our guest.
I unfortunately don't really have anything that's super awesome because I've had a few people contacting me about wanting to sell laptops, but they want what you're selling them for or more.
Yeah.
So because I had this person contact me with a gaming computer for Windows 7, and he wants like $500 for it, and I'm just like, it's not worth my time. So I don't really have. Show us the RTX card. Where the heck did I put that?
I don't even know what that is. I think I missed that.
It's a video card, and I don't even know where I have it right now. This is the problem. I don't have room in my room. I am running out of room in the room. But yeah.
We don't know about that.
Yeah.
No one knows about that.
None of us have that problem.
Hence why you're looking at knocking down that door.
Look at the floor. Look at it. Look at my floor.
Oh, I know. You should.
Oh,
see my
wait, you
floor
can't
here.
see it. That's the problem. Anyway, moving on.
But yeah, most everything lately has just been everybody wants, as I said, market price or more.
Mm-hmm.
Like Mr. Polka Dot prices.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate. So I don't really have anything new to show off, unfortunately. But oh, hold on, I can show my Apple because this is about as new as it got.
Yeah.
My Apple mousepad, which I'm so psyched to have. So
it's way cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Sweet. And 63 laptops.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, and I've sold quite a few of those now because I do them kind of in groups because I hate working on my website. It's horrendous. I took programming and I realized I'd rather work on a computer than work on a computer, if that makes any sense.
Yes.
like I'd rather build something than just sit there and code stuff.
Right.
Mhm.
So yeah, so I usually do about like 8 laptops at a time, and that takes me a good half a day to edit the photos, put them on the site, and then go and put them up on various websites. But yeah, they've been slowly selling. I sold 3 to somebody in New Brunswick who's a regular buyer,
Cool.
and I sold 6 to somebody from Discord that I didn't even have to list. I just went, here's all my Windows 8/10 laptops. Do you want them that work? And he went, yeah,
Give.
done deal.
Give.
And then he
Make
also
her.
got one of my Apple laptops that I had got as well. So.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
What about you, Ron?
My big project that I've been working on recently is I got a 6360. It's behind me. I've done a couple of videos about it recently that I put Muppet themed titles to. So, but basically, I've got it up and running finally. I was kind of on the fence. I really wanted to do some upgrades and stuff to it. And then it occurred to me that the motherboard in there takes a lot of the same upgrades that the Power Mac 4400, which is kind of the base machine that Apple used for the clone program. That motherboard in the Performance 6360 uses a lot of those. So I popped it open the other day, and sure enough, I got it from I got it from Exodium, and it's got the cache card, and it's got the ComSlot 2 network card. It's basically got everything I need to play around with this machine back here. So I'm really excited about that.
Nice.
So
Cool,
as soon as I
cool.
get back to work and everything kind of settles down with the semester starting, I'll have some more time to kind of test and play with that. But that 6360 has been a lot of fun. I experimented. I tried to use, I may have actually nuked this IDE to SATA adapter. This is one of the StarTech ones. This is kind of more of an expensive one. I accidentally plugged it in backwards. And now the machine doesn't. And now the machine doesn't like it anymore. So I ordered another one from Amazon, and I guess I'll see if I nuked it or not.
Related story. There is still a skid mark, a black sooty skid mark we can't get off the counter at the office.
I apologized. I
15
said
years
I've
ago.
had Taco Bell every day
Dude.
this week.
And I told him, you're not allowed to go commando with the kilt after Taco
Sorry.
Bell. But he sits up on the counter anyway because he likes to sit cross-legged on the counter.
Mhm.
And now there's just this skid mark. Actually, the real story is there's a skid
when
mark.
I hop
for the
up
exact
there,
same thing. Somebody
Steve,
plugged one in backwards, but whatever.
When I
He
hop
had
up
to
there,
make the
Joe,
choke out.
it's so cool on my Kafifi that I just
Kijiji.
or Kijiji, sorry.
Kijiji, wow.
I couldn't remember.
We keep the bottle of isopropyl around for that. Every time he visits, we just gotta wipe the whole place down. Yeah, don't.
Chug, chug, chug.
Ah, it's awful. Where'd you guys go? I'm blind.
We're here.
Sorry.
We're a goner.
Oh man. What else, Ron? That it?
That's it.
Cool. Good. Let's move to the next one. Javier. Yeah! Yeah, dude. If you did not see Javier's live stream where he worked on that, go find it. That was a freaking awesome live stream.
So I had this old, ugly Game Boy, and that I got for like $5 somewhere, sometime or in the past, and I just put it in a drawer and I forgot about it because I was going to use the screen actually to do one of those small retro computers, and I found out that screen was crap. So I was like, oh, I don't want it. So I just tossed it somewhere. So I remember I had it, and I went online, and I saw that there's a bunch of upgrades that you can do to this thing. So I ordered them from China, and I got this cool brand new case for like $10. And then you can also get a screen that actually has look at that. is backlit.
It's crazy.
Nice.
That thing. I mean, it's hard to see on screen, but
Mhm.
oh geez, it's just
You can
it's
adjust.
beautiful.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you were ever on a car trip and had to like every time a car would get behind the family truckster, you had to hold it up so you could play a little bit more Super Metroid, or Samus. What is Metroid 2, Samus, whatever. Yeah.
And
Anyhow.
the other cool thing is I ordered this little cartridge that has an SD card, and as you can see, it has a battery too, and it has like tons of games in there, so I don't have to be putting cartridges. I just turn
nice.
it on, and it has. I put the sound down, but anyway, it has
Mhm.
all the like a menu and shows you all the games that are there,
That's cool.
and then you can play games. I was playing. They have Choplifter
Mhm.
and Prince of Persia, and a bunch of Japanese and European games. Anyway, you can select it, and I'll just do anything real fast, and then I don't know what it is, but I just touch it, and it loads real fast. Sorry, it looks so.
It's
Jeez.
just a big white screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's backlit.
Imagineer presents 4-in-1 something or other.
Yeah, exactly. So the thing is that now that it's backlit, it's really, really well. You can view it very well, and you can play with it and all that. So now I love it. This little machine it's a new life with this screen, the screen, a new case, and the thing with all the games. So I'm very happy with this thing. Anyway, yeah, I know it's not that retro, but it's kind of retro.
No,
I
it's
did some
it's the
repairs.
right
Yeah.
kind of retro. It's right around the right time frame. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, define time frame. I mean, whatever.
Yeah, and it has you can change colors also, so it allows you to change the yellow, orange.
Oh, the
and just
red.
like
The red one really showed up well on screen.
yeah, it's weird. Look, yeah,
There,
so-
that one is good for the screen.
There you go.
yeah, and then the green. I love the green because it looks like an apple too, and of course you can change the brightness. Yeah, you see it was okay. That's a lot better.
Mhm.
You can read a little bit better now, and
Legend of Zelda.
and then you can do black and white. Oh, black and white or color.
Right.
Cool.
So it has a lot of cool features, in this little machine, and it breathed a lot of new life to this little thing. So I'm very happy with it.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I got was my Bose speakers that they were in Washington in my daughter's house. So finally she came visit, and I could get them back.
Nice.
And these
Cool.
are the Apple ones. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can
I'd
see the
love to
Apple
have a
logo
set
on the
of
front.
those.
so I'm a happy camper now. Those are the new things that I got.
Joe, let Ron back into your side of the basement. Okay.
No, it's we've got a serial cable that runs between the two sides, so we can play 688 attack sub, and that's fine.
You got an arrangement.
Mm-hmm. We do. It's Tuesday
He's
nights.
got his own
or
back door and everything.
688
You can go out
attack
that
sub
door.
nights.
I'm not touching that hole. He's got his own back door. But anyway,
Listen,
could explain
everybody
Skid Mark.
poops, Trina. It's fine.
Nobody poops but you. Anyway,
Yeah.
oh, and I just want to shout out to Action Retro because I just watched his latest video on his ancient computer. I'm trying to think of what the heck that massive
Alan
behemoth-
Bradley DOS machine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
And
that's
I was
really
like-
cool.
and I was yelling at the screen, just use a keyboard and mouse
No,
because
no.
he was
That's
Yeah,
not
that
on
sounds
brand,
pretty cool.
right?
yeah no.
That's the only
And then
brand.
he was like, my hand hurts, and I'm like, well, I was yelling at you to not do
You know,
that.
If you can't mount that thing in the wall or directly to a 19 post rack, I mean, what are you even doing, right?
Right. And
There
yeah,
you go.
that
Membrane.
membrane just
The
looked-
membrane.
Oh,
Oh, man.
But yeah, I had
Yes.
quite a few giggles over that one because I'm like, I've gone through similar issues with computers in the past, and I'm like,
He didn't receive it with the paired wall. That's why you need to make one of these things back here. You make a 19 post rack out of lac tables from IKEA. Yep. Because I'm going to mount it
in my car. That's great. So I'm looking forward to the next adventure that you do with that industrial computer, because it's been interesting to watch. I didn't even know they existed until I saw your video. So
Francois, you see that? Here, look. This look this.
Make yourself big, Joe.
Jeez.
I made a 19-inch rack out of 4 lac tables and 2 big chunks of wood and some casters. And I have a video on my website on YouTube about it.
Oh, make yourself big so we can see it, because it's hard to see.
Here, look.
Yeah.
See it back there? But basically the inside dimensions of lac tables are exactly 19 inches. They're the same dimension as a rack. So all you have to do is just stack them up, drill holes through the legs, and use just bolts and nuts, and you can mount crap to it. So I'm like, all right, I can do that for like $100, or I can buy like a $1,000 4-post rack. So yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm going to IKEA, baby. Anyway. Yes.
Cool.
The T1 chip in it won't let you put it in just.
What are your latest acquisitions, Joe?
Yeah. Oh gosh, too freaking many. So the first cool toy I can't show you because it's in a pile over there somewhere. I got a Data Flyer SCSI board. Data Flyer SCSI Plus board for the Amiga, for my Amiga 4000. Right. So I can get SCSI working in the Amiga so I can test it with blue SCSIs. We already know it works, but I want to actually test it so I can go on my website and say, I have tested this. So that's cool. I got the RS485 adapter for my Nabu. I got that as I dropped it. I got that as a Christmas gift. I would have had it like a month ago, but I put it on my Christmas list, and I'm like, well, I guess I'm waiting. And lots of other literally I handed folks my Christmas list. I'm like, get me things from Amazon, because I'm hard to buy for, because it's like, I don't read books. Not that I can't read books or that I don't enjoy reading books. I have a very hard time staying focused enough to read books.
So you read manuals.
Yeah, I can read manuals for like 20 minutes. But no, I got some little some Arduino breadboards, so I can do some breadboarding stuff. Cool little soldering kit, electronic cicada. That was a really cool. Basically got a little motor and you put it together and it goes across. I'm going to build that on live stream sometime.
That's cool.
Some of these were just surprises too. This is a big kit from Jamco that I got, which I'm going to build on live stream too. This is a theremin. It's a little like toy theremin. And you like put your hands around it, goes makes noise. So
that's cool.
Those are going to be some toys that. Look what I got for Christmas, everybody! Of course, I got Ron sent me some cool toys. Sent me a power book. Was this is 180 or something like that?
It's 160.
160, yeah. That has SCSI in it, so I can actually test it with blue SCSI, which will be cool. Just put that to the side. I drop it everything, Ron.
Let me put that somewhere Ron will step on it.
Yeah. Joe, your store is out of blue SCSI assembled. It's not out. Retro Techie, I'm not out of blue SCSIs. I have plenty. The stock number is 0. That doesn't mean I don't have any. What else? Oh, the yes, stand by. I went over. So this is my most recent thing. I'm dropping everything,
and
folks.
Just broke it.
Yeah,
I know.
Whoops.
Oh, it doesn't turn on, so it doesn't really matter. It's an Amstrad.
Yeah, Amstrad.
PCW 8256, which there are several really cool videos on the internet about those, but I want to make my own video about it, play around with that. That was free.
Nice.
$0 on the other side of Ohio. I just had to go drive and get it. So that's really cool. Apparently it runs CPM and stuff.
Mhm.
But this one is one of the weird ones that only has one floppy drive, and it's the non-standard 3-inch floppy drive. So like
Mhm.
I have to put a GoTech in it and hack it and do this and that. And
It's a fun project. It's a fun project machine. So, and the price was right too.
yeah. I mean, like you can't complain with zero,
Yeah,
except for the
so
6-hour drive.
it's
But,
okay. I'll be by to pick up that Sony monitor here next
Oh
weekend.
yeah. The Sony monitor that has a bad flyback
Oh no.
and screen burn in. Yeah. But it is what it is.
Mhm.
That's fine. However, the really cool thing, it's like I don't know how to say it. Like of all of that stuff, the thing in that I found the coolest was the fact that I got a 9-inch television out of it.
Yeah.
Because all I have up here are these gigantic, well, to me, gigantic 13-inch TVs taking up space on that top shelf, and now those can all go away and be replaced with this single 9-inch TV.
Nice.
I like the smaller TVs because the smaller aperture grill on it, it's
Mhm.
physically smaller, it just looks nicer. They look better. They take up
Yeah.
less space.
Mhm.
Anyway. So yeah, those are Joe's cool toys.
Nice.
That's good.
That he got this year. Yeah, last year. You know what? Whatever. Brain. Too much lead. I solder too much. Brain not work. Seriously, I need to get like my blood tested for lead levels. Yeah. I've actually been looking for bismuth-based solder because bismuth is nearly identical in everything to lead, except it doesn't kill you. But I can't find it. It's like insanely expensive. So.
Oh.
Anyway.
Well, you can find it. It just costs a lot.
Well, yeah, like it's like 100 times more expensive. So. Anyway, that's it. That's
cool.
all. That's and if you sit really close to a 9-inch TV, it makes it feel like it's much bigger. That's what she said. So yeah.
Oh, and Joe, I understand you not being able to sit and read a book. I totally get that. Yeah.
Like it has to be very specific types of books. The last book that I remember sitting down and reading all the way through was The Martian. Because it's space and techie and science, and it's like, and it just engrossed me.
That's what I like. 1970 sci-fi books. That's my go-to.
Cyborg.
Yeah.
Cyborg.
I like reading because most of the time they're based like in the early 2000s to now.
Let's see what they got wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Everything.
Speaking of which, this year is the Soylent Green year.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Soylent Green is people. Mm-hmm.
So we got 12 months to just start eating people.
It's also that
Congress almost did that this week. Anyway,
it's also that movie that was 1970s movie with Sean Connery. I think it was where he was
Zardoz.
Yeah,
that's further in the future. That's like 22 something. I thought.
No,
right?
it's 2024.
No, it's this year. They say
it's this year.
Well, I saw a meme that said that.
Yeah. We got to start. Apparently, you guys got to start
wearing that.
Yeah,
forget it.
2293. Jeremy's Vintage Hillbilly Shack. Have I heard of the Bio of a Space Tyrant series? No. The most recent series of books that I can remember that I read, I'm trying to remember the name of it. It was the book series. It was written by a guy who came back from Vietnam and basically wrote a sci-fi series kind of based on that. And it was the progenitor of the concept of the Space Marine.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't remember the series name. Something. Yeah.
Starship Troopers?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't Starship Troopers.
Yeah.
And when it comes to reading, because I see somebody had mentioned reading on a tablet. I like
the Nebula.
I like reading an actual book, like an actual hard copy book.
Yeah.
There's nothing that the smell and just the feel of it, and everything else.
I love it.
I can't.
I don't read too
can't
much
find it.
either, but I used to read a
I know
lot.
the name of the character.
Yeah.
His name is Mandala because it's an anagram of the author's name,
Okay.
but I can't remember the name of the book series. Anyway, sorry. That's me. I'm Joe. I say sorry all the time because I'm apparently Canadian, as Trina
Yeah.
said earlier. So
You are over
Future
Canadian.
War. I think that's correct. Is that correct?
Future War.
Is
That
what it
terrible
was?
movie that was on Mystery Science Theater with the dinosaurs that were sent from
No.
the future.
No,
Okay.
not that.
All right.
Yeah, Eric said no,
I
not
don't
the movie.
Cat in the Hat.
Yeah, no, that's not what it is.
All the places you'll go.
Anyway, doesn't matter. Anyway, Cat in the Hat, Dave. No, maybe. Anyway, that's all. So I want to get on to the topic of the week, which I came up with randomly about 25 minutes ago. Before we head out for the evening, and that is New Year's resolutions and/or / plans
Mm-hmm.
for 2023. What's going on? You have conventions you want to go to, people you want to meet up with, specific machines you want to acquire, all of the things.
You go, Trina.
Trina, go.
So 2023, I want to go to VCF Midwest whenever that's taking place, because there's a rumor going around that it might not take place in September.
The Forever War by Joe Halderman. That's exactly what it is.
No. We're talking about Jesus
Go ahead.
Christ.
And then my
September,
other,
they say?
well, they're saying but somebody
I
was
would love
saying,
September. Actually.
somebody was saying that there was a rumor that it might be July, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
That's
and that's
rough.
the problem.
Yeah, that's rough.
And then, obviously get back having my own place again now that I'm working again full time. So I kind of have and now that I've seen some paychecks, I now know kind of what my budget is for places.
Yeah.
So that's my big, that's going to be my big, because I'd like to have my own
Yeah.
place again.
Mhm.
So I can actually maybe have, not be all cramped into my bedroom.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Drink less coffee.
Drink less coffee. Never.
no.
More coffee.
Yeah.
Like Captain Janeway always says, there's coffee in that nebula.
Yeah.
Ron, what's your
Hey,
plan?
my plans for 2023 are to basically just, again, try to make investments in our community by doing more things kind of like I showed today, try to give back, help people that are working on other projects, stuff like that. In terms of like meeting up with people and things like that, I would really like to try to make it to VCF East this year in April to see folks out that direction. I would really like to make it to Kansas Fest again this year. And I would
Apple
also...
II forever.
I know. I can't wait. I had a really great time last year. I think it was amazing. It was quite a lot of fun. And then I would like to try to make it to VCF Midwest again this fall, depending on when they actually decide to hold it. And we'll see, I guess, as they make announcements. I mean, a lot of the thing was Saturday was so dang busy last year. I don't know if the solution would be to actually just extend it a day rather than change the venues. The venue is great, but just make it one more day. Have everybody load in on Thursday night and then have it actually open on Friday and then Saturday and then have your wrap up on Sunday. Because I think the first year I went was not last year, not like 2022, but 2021. And they had like 3 speakers or something. There wasn't a lot of that. But then 2022, oh my gosh, it was packed. Like everybody had a panel. There was something going on every day. There was tons of people all up and down the hallways. It was just packed. So I don't know how you fix it. I'm not on the board, so I won't worry about it. But I really would like to get to that. And then we'll see what else the year holds. There's some other fun things I'd like to go do. We'll just see. We'll see what the future holds, I guess.
Sure. I do want to answer a question Jeremy had about Kansas Fest. Kansas, is it only about the Apple II? Is there a section for Macintosh? I noted that it's Apple II adjacent. It is 100% Apple focused. However, if you have something Apple II adjacent, like here's the Mac that's running this because it was used to develop that, or we have this cool Atari that can do this because it was inspired by that, and Woz did something. Like if it's got to be connected.
I think if you go out and actually, if you take a look at the website, it even says like Apple II and Macintosh kind of thing. And that kind of like, there was a point where that kind of had a lot more prominence. And we seem to be kind of on the back end of the Macintosh stuff, but not last year, but the year before when it was virtual. I did a presentation about the Apple IIe card and about some Macintosh stuff and getting things configured and all that. And I can't imagine that anybody would like freak out too much about doing a presentation. They're always looking for stuff. If only we had somebody that was like part of the planning and the board and stuff of Kansas Fest here in this session with us, they could even tell us.
Boy, that cold really came
I
back.
wonder who that could be. Who is that's on the board who's on our stream right now?
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be a problem with that. I honestly, I don't feel too much, on the board because, they're too cool. But yeah, it's, I've never seen, I see a lot of camaraderie. We do a lot of joking about, Boo
Atari or Boo Commodore.
Yeah, Boo Atari, that's, one of the things over there. What's his name? Kay Savitz?
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
He's an Atari guy and 100%. But he goes over there. He used to go every year, and we just make fun of each other. It's not like we hate other platforms. We just it's Apple II centered, but we talk about a lot of things. And actually, in the giveaway, there was a lot of Commodores sometimes and Macs. There's tons of Macs all the time. Yeah. So and we fix them over there.
I brought an iMac and gave it away last year, and it was gone. It was just gone.
Yeah. So they bring a lot of other systems, TIs and all that. But yeah, we talk more about Apple II. But sometimes, like you say, maybe the new thing that is right now is the FujiNet. So maybe somebody can give a FujiNet thing, and they can talk about all the other systems it works with and bring other systems. They're not going to say no, it's just, it's more Apple II centric.
It's literally a week-long event that they've got to fill a schedule on.
And it's not enough. You'll see. Once you're there, it's like, I want to stay here forever.
It's a lot of fun.
I mean, the showers, I could take them or leave them. But other than that...
Actually, I was kind of worried because people were talking about the bathrooms and things like that, and I never really had an issue. I just got up and got down there, and I mean, there's you kind of step over and you have a little cubicle, so it's private and all that. I mean,
I just set an alarm for 5 a.m. and go when there's nobody and take care of it and then go back to sleep.
Joe, here's the thing. If you just went to the doctor and had that weird tail removed, you wouldn't have to worry about what people thought. I mean, I'm your friend.
I don't care. I'm still shy. I have problems, okay?
Oh, boy.
Anyway, yeah. So, no, it's pretty cool. So, Javier, what are your plans for?
Well, I'm for sure going to K-Fest, of course. That's like my highlight. But also, I want to go to BCF Midwest. I want to be with all the cool guys. I went to BCF East last year because I was invited, and I wasn't, honestly. I was like, BCF is more a lot of other computers. I don't know if I want to be there. Oh, it was so much fun. And of course, I saw Steve and Sean from, all the guys, all the cool guys from all my heroes. So I met them over there in real life. So I was like, oh, that's that guy I'm going to ask him for, and, his signature and stuff. And they like, oh.
And then
Javier
proceeded to hand out 100,000 of our stickers.
Yeah. Exactly. I gave away the stickers, and you want to see?
They were all gone.
They were all gone. Yeah. And actually, I took a candle. I think Mac 84 has one. So, or somebody kept it. I don't know. So yeah,
Dude,
it was.
all I'm saying is Kansas Fest, vendor table, Javier candles.
There
That's
you go.
That's it. That's a great idea. I don't know if they're gonna let me put them on the airplane, but let's try.
You just got to go to Walmart and get them in bulk, and then you print them out at the print shop, and you just paste them on there when you're there.
And send them out. Yeah, why not? Jeez.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got a bunch of little secret projects that are really cool. Some are not that secret anymore. The one that we're doing with Mac Effects, that it's in delay. But there's a couple more that they're going to be revealed on K-Fest this year. So yeah, it's all cool stuff.
I know what they are, and all I have to say is they're freaking cool. Pay attention.
So
Yes,
anyway,
sir.
we want to show more stuff over there, and the Fujinet, it's also something real awesome. I've been playing with that a lot and helping the guys. This guy Tom and Jeff, they're amazing people. They're just reinventing everything. So that's another thing I want to be involved in with my little knowledge and my little I can help. I just try to put help. So that's my year resolution. Get more involved, attend more things, and just chill out.
Cool. Awesome sauce.
What about you?
Cool.
Oh, geez. Like, I don't even have an answer. I created the topic and don't even have an answer. More of the same.
Let's go.
Yeah, so as I already hinted, this month, cool things are coming to Blue Scuzzy. Pay attention. So all I can say is I'm going to be really busy in 2023 with Blue Scuzzy related stuff. But, let's look at the future by looking at a retrospect. I've been doing a lot of work helping others out with their projects. Blue Scuzzy is not my project, but I did a video on it and they think I'm cool, so they let me sell them. And I'm like, all right, that's cool. Mac Effects, I've been doing lots of stuff with Mark Josatis. That happened a couple years ago, and I'm super glad to be able to review his projects, help him with redesign and stuff and all of those things. That's been super fun, and I look forward to continuing to do work like that as well. But I guess my biggest plans for 2023 are one, I want to expand this space somehow. I might go through that door. I might get rid of the shipping table and move it somewhere else and expand that direction. If the camera's being
Joe stopped paying his electric bill.
Yeah. I want to, that can maybe go away and I can get room. I don't know, but I want to expand the space, not for the sake of like having more space to put more computers in, but more to be able to expand the non-collecting part of my operation. I would love to be able to have people come by. When Ron visited this, just this last year, it made it painfully obvious that like more than one person in this space. No,
well,
it's
Ron
not
is special. He's
like
not very
also
small.
So he's like hitting his head on the vent up there as he walks by. But I want to be able to, I guess, make this into a space to where I could have a more public presence. Like I can invite people over. Hey, come look at the collection. It's open to the public, so to speak. And set things up to where instead of them being on shelves, and if I have somebody come over and they want to use it, I have to go through this big rigmarole of setting it up and plugging it in. I can be like, yeah, go flip the switch. It's on. Just and flip the switch and use it. To be able to be more than just a face on the screen, but to be a place where you can actually go to and use the computers. We made there's a house just behind us here that's for sale. And my spouse said, hey, that house is for sale. Maybe you should expand your museum as a joke. And I'm like, it's not going to happen, obviously. But like that kind of gives you the idea of my mindset of what I'm.
But Eric also agrees with your wife and says the house next door would be perfect.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. um, but also, I mean, as far as my production of non-museum-y stuff, of products, so to speak, um, how can I talk about this without like sounding like some sort of jerk or self-aggrandizing? Sales have been really good in 2022. I'll just put it that way.
You're already a jerk,
So
so
good
you can do it. Yeah.
that it makes me want to expand options out there for people for different things. Light sound, my collaboration on the light sounds with Bob Darlington, he was in the chat. It's been super awesome. He makes them on his cool pick and place machine. He's like, here, Joe, sell them. I put them on my website, and they go out there, and then people can have stereo sound on their Apple IIgs. That's freaking cool. And we're doing it for beans. We're doing it for just like just dollars over top of cost, right? And that's the point. Is we want to MacFX is on the same thing too. Exactly that right there. I don't have any to show. I'm all out.
Don't worry. I'm here for you, Joe.
I want to be able to have these really cool things. It really all started with the keyboard encoder for the Apple III. This unobtainium custom part that you can't get. I want to expand.
You don't tell me what I can and can't do, Joe.
Nobody can tell me what I can and can't do because I have a freaking programmer and a solder guy. But I want to. That's my 2023 is to try to expand those capabilities more in both space and actual like
time
things that I can do.
Oh wait.
FPGAs or CPLDs would be another thing too, where I could do some really custom, like high speed, low latency logic to do, I don't know, reverse engineer the swim chip or something, stuff like that. So
or something.
Yeah, I don't know. That's just a pie in the sky, but that's how I think. I like where do I want to get to? What steps do I need to take to get there? But space is the biggest thing. So that's kind of what I'm wanting to do in 2023. So yeah, that's what's happening.
Yep.
Cool.
Sweet.
Nice.
Well, we're getting to, not to cut anybody off, but we're getting to that point in the show where we start to wind things up. If anybody had any questions in the chat they want to throw out, go ahead and throw those questions out now. We normally do that a little bit earlier, but I think we kind of just got in our role or in our spin and we're talking about things. Jeremy's Vintage Hillbilly Shack has a question. I hope you were able to follow through the challenge that Justin and I issued you, Amiga keyboard encoder. Yes, that would be another really cool thing that I can do. That would be a really fun challenge. That really would be. What is your address, Joe, so I can visit the museum?
1060 West Addison, Chicago, Illinois.
Yeah, there you go. Pennsylvania 65000. So, yeah, like just chips like that. Like he said, the keyboard encoder in the Amiga is unobtainium. If you have an Amiga 500. And your keyboard dies because of the encoder, your solution is to buy another Amiga. That's it.
Really? I didn't know that.
There's nobody's done the encoder because the encoder in that's very special. The encoder in the A500 does wacky special stuff because it's more than just a keyboard encoder. It's used to like as a watchdog timer for the Amiga. Mm-hmm. If the Amiga doesn't talk back to the keyboard encoder on a regular basis, the keyboard encoder asserts the reset line and resets the machine. So it's got this very special back and forth talk protocol to do things. And yeah, I'm
surprised that they don't have
the documentation for the Amiga is quite available. The chip they used is it's a 6502 based microcontroller. So it's basically like if a 6502 and a 6522 were shoved together and married, that's what it is. So you have to kind of emulate all that, and so whatever.
Oh well.
Anyway, but yeah, Retro Techie, how can I get a blue SCSI by Wednesday? Send PayPal money to joe@jcm-1.com. Think of the largest number that you can afford, multiply it by 2, send it to me, and I will overnight you one. So yeah.
That sounds fair.
So yeah, so that's that. Anyway, shameless. While we're waiting for anybody to have any other questions, thoughts, inputs on our stream tonight. Shameless plugs. Trina, tell
Okay.
everybody who you are, where they can find you, and who is your daddy and what does he do?
My daddy's retired from 35 years of working in construction after breaking his back. So,
Oh,
uh, but he had luck. He won the lotto just as he was retiring. So just
Oh.
before retired, which helped with the retirement. Yeah.
awesome!
So he basically told his boss that he went back to the boss and said, "Here's what I'm willing to do," because the doctor had said, "You can't bend over. He's a bricklayer," and he said, "You can't bend over." And he's basically saying, "Well, you're telling me I can't work because when you start a wall, you start on the ground."
That's what I do for work. Yeah.
And so when he went back to the boss, he said, "Here's what I can do." And the boss said, "Oh," he said, "I heard you won." He said, "Blah, blah, blah." And he said, "Well, F you." And he walked off, and that was it.
And that was it.
He took early retirement.
You.
But where can you find me? I am on the YouTube at Trina's Technobabble. Please feel free to subscribe for those who haven't. That might be in the chat.
Yep.
And I'm also on Twitter at Trina's Technobabble, or Technobabble T, as we found out tonight before the stream started.
Techno Bablet.
Yeah.
Yes. Techno Bablet.
And then also,
Bablet!
if you're looking for some computer parts, you can also find me at computerswithpride.ca.
Mhm.
Let's
Yep,
pump my
sorry about
business. I'm also on eBay, so
Mhm.
for those who are not in Canada or not in the Toronto area,
Do you ship internationally?
I ship to the US and Canada
Gotcha.
because
So,
international is.
I mean, if you
stupid.
can consider the United States a nation, I mean, it's not really.
But yeah,
Politics. Moving on.
I just ship within North America because it's super expensive. I had somebody who really wanted this motherboard that I had, and it cost almost $200 to ship overseas.
Oh,
So you
yeah.
ship to
Where he
North to West Panama, then, right?
I forget where it was. Yeah, it was somewhere, but I got that was the cheapest, was $200 to ship it.
Ugh.
So
Gosh.
Ron.
Hey, it's Ron with Ron's Computer Videos. You can check me out on Twitter at Ron's Comp Vids. Actually, I have a website now, or I have a URL that you can. It basically has a link aggregator and everything in there. So if you go to ronscompvids.com, that will get you to all the appropriate places when I'm not dropping the project I'm working on. So that's it, really. Ron's Comp Vids.
Javier.
Hold on to your horses, because I gotta do the animation.
Oh yeah.
There it is. Oh yeah. So, Javier,
Nice.
I'm Habmaster at whatever the tweeters, Habmaster on YouTube, and go to 8BTs, 8BTs, 8BTs. Best t-shirts that I'm not wearing today in the planet. Yeah, almost best. Okay. First, well, no, second to Joe's anyway, but it's good. It's good anyway.
These are actually designed by a natural graphic designer.
No, but
was thrown
actually,
together in paint.
I like
Anyway.
to do things for I started that store, and that store is for the community, and most of the designs over there are for people that have asked me to do them. So if you guys have any ideas,
cool.
we can put them up. I can put them up for for you, and
And if you have
Anyway.
ideas for me to put up for a T-shirt, I'm just going to give them to Javier to do, and Javier can do them.
there you go.
Fair enough.
That's it.
Hi, everybody. My name's Joe from Joe's Computer Museum on YouTube.
Hi, Joe.
I do crazy, weird things on the internet, as you have seen for the past hour and a half. I like to play with old computers and stuff and show them off. I also like to make replacement parts for old computers so that to keep your old computers up and running, like Blue Scuzzies, keyboard encoders for the Apple III, RGB converters for the Apple III. I also work with Bob Darlington to sell the light sound cards for the Apple IIGS and a whole bunch of other stuff. I also have the best retro t-shirt store on the internet that isn't Javier's store. So you can follow me on YouTube at Joe's Computer Museum. You can follow me on Mastodon at Museum Joe at allbytes.space. If you wish to support me in my museum operations with a tiny little trinket, little's $1. You can support me on Patreon, Joe's Computer Museum, for as little as $1 a month. You get access to my Discord, where you get to yell at me literally anytime. When you don't see me on a stream, you can just throw a comment there. I'm like, "Hi, what do you want?" And we can talk. I also do live streams, and my Discord members, who are my patrons, get to hop on and be guests on those live streams. So that's a really cool thing. More dollars get you more cool things like t-shirts and mugs and like all types of other cool stuff. So
Joe's got who's it's and what's it's a plenty.
What's it's and things. You can go to jcm-1.com. It's right above my head and right in front of my face to get those cool blue scuzzies and things like that. So that's me. I do things, try to help people. So that is what we do. Well, thank you all for stopping by tonight. It has been super fun. Thank you, Trina, for being our super awesome guest.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, absolutely. We hope to have you on again at some point in the future. Somebody said thingamaboobs in the chat, so I got to press the button.
Thingamaboob.
It's apparently my brand now.
It is.
And yeah, so we're going to be back again next week. Before we leave, remember to lasso that like button and spur that subscribe button. I don't know, I still haven't found a good thing for that yet, but do the like button and the bell and the subscribey stuff, because what that does is that tells the YouTube algorithm to show our content to people who watch similar stuff that you watch. So that's why if you do that, and then we get more cool people to come by, and we get more people to be in the chat, to be part of our cool little community, and we get to do all of the things. Ooh, a final question from before we leave, Francois Revel. Are those StarTech USB 3 HD cap usable Linux, or do they require Windows drivers? Good question. I don't know. It came with a driver disk and did the thing. So I don't know if there's Linux compatibility. A lot of the cheap ones on the internet, though, if you don't need really, really special DOS capability, if you just need like generic VGA capability, like the cheap $21 ones on Amazon work on everything. You just plug it in. It's a camera, so it just does the thing. Anyway, right. Ring that dinner bell. I like that one, Jeremy's Vintage Hillbilly Shack. Yes. So thank you all for stopping by. Remember, our next show is in 2 weeks. It's the fourth Sunday this time because of our weird offset schedule. It will be on January 22nd with our guest, Retro Tech or Die. Again, thanks everybody for stopping by. Thank you, Trina, for being our guest. And we will see you all later. Bye, everybody.
Bye.